So, welcome to my attempt at doing Act 3. And because the game is kind of too easy right now, and I'm sure you've heard lots of complaints about it from everyone else around, um, I'm gonna try to add some fun to it. So, I'm giving myself a challenge, right? My normal gears are just too OP right now. It's not even fair, but I think if you're not able to do like 200k DPS, then it probably makes the game more interesting. So let's see what we can do with a naked demon hunter and 5 million gold. So I removed all my gold from my account to prove that I'm not cheating, of course. And the goal is to basically find a nice balanced gear set using only 5 mil while still being able to survive and dish out pretty good damage. So let's check out the auction house and to see what kind of stuff we're looking for the cheapest price possible while still being pretty good. What you're probably gonna spend most of your money on is your bow. Out of the 5 million, I think 1 mil should be dedicated to your bow. So I'm kind of working against myself because I'm on the auction house during peak hours. It's typically harder to get good deals at peak hours, but that's okay. Let's see what we can do with 5 mil. So, obviously, we're not getting this guy. So let's put ourselves to a 800k limit and see what kind of socket crossbows we can get for 800k. So already we can see this one, 600k is a pretty good deal actually. But we want to be very careful with the way we spend our money, right? So we gotta look through some alternatives here. Maybe we can find one with nicer decks, or nicer maybe Vit. Vit would be very nice. So let's see if we can find any rares that give us some good stats. Strength, and strength is good for armor, but we're looking for a bow here. Attack speed is, I think it's kind of overrated, but anyways. So let's see. This one has a little bit of vit. Nah, rares aren't looking good. So let's just stick to what we know. Hey, what? Look at all these 1k bows. But when you go to rare, you don't see any of those 1k bows. Yo, bugs, man. Okay, anyways. So this one looks pretty good already. It's recently put up, which means that it's very likely a good deal. So we only have 600k for this bow, and it's the most DPS out of like all of these. So we're already pretty cost efficient if we get this, I think. This one is 400k, but 1k DPS. But the goal is to find a 1k DPS bow. And oh man, when we're under this restriction of 5 mil here, 200k is pretty significant. So what do I lose here? Socket, some damage, 1023 for 600k, or 1015 for 400k. I think the 400k is much better. We can even afford a much better gem, if we use the 400k one for this bow. So let's do that. So I'm gonna get this bow for 400k. I think that's the cheapest one. Hopefully it's still here. Yes. Um, okay, so we got our bow. So let's just give it a test try. Oops. Oh. Alright, so what kind of gem would be most cost efficient? I'm not gonna use these gems, I'm gonna buy them all from scratch. Everything that I own I won't use except for the 5 mil that I have here. So I need to be quite cost efficient even with the gems. Let me see. Emerald. So there's no way we're gonna afford a star. So this would be 30k, and for 50% crit damage. And this would be 90k, so 140k for 60% crit damage. I think it's better to start with the 50%, and if we're really struggling with mobs, we'll try to upgrade to the 60%, but the 50% is pretty good, so let's buy the gem for that. Okay, hopefully this is pretty quick. Flawless square. It's cheaper to combine, of course. You always want to start at the flawless squares. So let's get 3 of those, 10k. We get our refund. The refund works based on the average, so it returns to you how much you overpaid. Anyways, that's just a little detail when you're buying commodities. Okay, so let's see our gem. So I bought 3 of these guys. Let's upgrade. Oh wow, I forgot tombs. Tombs are expensive. Well, they're expensive under these conditions. How many tombs do I need? Sorry, a little bit of downtime here as I try to figure out 3 tombs. Okay. Oops. Gems crafting. It's not here, is it? Alright. So I want to buy 3. So I got my gem. Okay. I just want to do this one by one and put them on just to see how it affects my DPS, because you kind of want to adjust your equipment accordingly. For example, if I have too much vit, I'm willing to sacrifice vit for either dex or resist all or something like that. So we got our bow. Okay. So the next gear we want to get, we'll save the rings and the amulets for last because those are really expensive. We kind of want to get the armor and the quiver first. The quiver is really cheap, so let's get the quiver right now. So this is kind of tedious. You guys are watching me on the auction house. I mean, I could just say what you need, but I think it's better if I kind of go through everything from the start to finish. If you want to see the gameplay, you can watch a future video. It's easy, it's quite easy to skip. But if you want to see the rationale behind what I'm buying, it's probably more worthwhile to watch these. So a quiver obviously is going to have crit hit chance. Quivers get quite a bit of crit hit chance. You also want to try to get some discipline on your quiver, and of course dex. So because we're kind of looking for low grade gear, we're not, the max crit is like 8.5 or something, but we want to have 5. 5 is enough, it's decent. Discipline is important, but 7 is moderate. It's not too important. And 70 dex. Okay, so obviously we're not buying these. 10k. So, whoa, look at this one already. So, 71 dex, 88 vit, 7 discipline, and 5.5% crit. That's quite good. We got the dex vit already, the discipline, the crit, the attack speed. Just like a 2-second surge. So, 10k, I'm not even gonna be, it's a new one too. Let's just buy this right away. Okay, so we got our quiver. Let's just put it on to update. Should take like 2 seconds. Alright, so we're at... I'll go over the skills later. Forget about this for now. That was just from my old skills, but yeah, forget about that. Okay, next. So right now we have a pretty good quiver, and we also have a pretty good bow. They're not bad, I would argue. Okay, so the next thing, let's just go in order. So this way upward. So boots. Boots naturally have high dex, so you can get away with some really high dex boots for cheap. If you're looking for expensive gear, obviously you want dex vit resist all, and there's some pretty good legendaries out there, but that's not important to right now. We want to use our 5 mil to the best of our abilities. So let's go with boots, and let's try dex vit. Oh, whoops. Dex vit, and typically you would want movement speed if you want something expensive, but we're not looking for super high-end gear. We're just looking for basic gear, right? So 200 dex and 70 vit. Let's see how much we can get with that. So 50k. Alright, so already we can afford 200 dex, 70 vit, and pretty good armor with 50k. So I have to squeeze every penny, so I have to be very careful about how I buy stuff. Oh, 90 vid, 200 dex, 60 strength, so that gives me more armor, and 43 vit. That's 4 resist all. I don't think that's worth it. Let's see if we can get resist all with lower vit. Ah, damn. It's too good to be true. Oh, okay, 170's dex. So we sacrifice some dex for resist all. Alright, I think that's a good deal. Because we also want our demon hunter to survive, right? We don't want to just get one-shotted. That's not fair. Oh, okay. So this has 55 resist all. And 175 dex and 40 vit. I'm worried about the vit, but this looks like a good deal. I think I'm gonna take it. Oh, the vit is too low. I still think it's pretty good. I'll do it. Okay, so we have our boots. Let's just put them on to update our stats. Yeah, this part is kind of tedious, but I just want to do it. Just to see where we're going towards, because it's important to see your DPS. I'm trying to aim for a certain number, and that's about like 90 to 100k. It sounds like it's too good to be true, and this is actually my first time trying this. It's not like I practiced this and I'm like, oh, I need every single gear and I limited my searches. No, this is actually on the fly. So that's our boots. We're sitting at 18k with sharpshooter. I should have checked without, but it's okay. We'll see how things work out afterwards. So these are some pretty nice boots. We got 3 gears already for 470k. And I expected the bow to be the most expensive, but that's not true. It turned out quite nicely, actually. Maybe if we can even hit like 3 mil out of 5 to be able to do Act 3. That would be quite nice. That would hit the goal quite well. But we'll see. We'll see. So next, pants. Okay. So by the way, the reason why I bought high dex boots was because every equipment has a natural stat advantage. So for example, if you search for boots with really high dex, you would see boots with like 280 dex, right? Same thing with pants. If you search for pants, you'll see pants with like 250 vit, like crazy things. So each type of gear has their own natural, well, I don't know what to call it really, but I call it a natural stat advantage. And Dex is definitely boots. Vit is pants. Gloves is Dex for sure. Shoulders is strength. Bracer, I'm not too sure. But anyways, that's the type of things we're going to try to take advantage of because we only have so little money. Well, so little, relatively speaking. But anyways, moving on. So we got, we're looking for pants now. Let's go for pants. So, of course, Dex Vit. So we're sitting about 55 resistol. Our goal is about 250, 200-ish resistol. Even my main gear has like 250 resistol, and I'm easily able to take hits from elites and stuff, and with the build that I use. So it's no biggie. I think we'll be able to do fine. So since pants have crazy vit, we want to try to avoid resistol for pants. We want just crazy vit. Because if we can get crazy vit on our pants, then we can make up for that vit in other parts that are cheaper, right? So we want to try to work with pants here. Okay, let's look for 150, 150. That's kind of ambitious. 10k. No way. It was too good to be true. Alright, 50k. Oh my god. Okay, so we have to lower some standards here. We don't want... We'll try to avoid slotted gear. Oh my god, look at this one. 120 dex, 196 vit. That's so much health. Yeah, so it's these kinds of things that you're looking for. You're looking for really high vit. These pants also have some nice armor. I really like that. I think we need good armor as well. Armor vit. The goal is to have a balanced demon hunter, not just some crazy DPS demon hunter that gets one-shotted by anything. Any little spearman or whatever weakling. We don't want to get one-shotted. So this one is looking good already, but we want to try to squeeze every penny. So let's see what we could get with 130 dex. This one is not good. It has too little vit. Too little vit. I don't like this. Okay, 140 dex. Oh, so now we're getting close to a really good deal. I don't like the armor on this guy though. The armor is too low. I like the one before where I had like 450 armor. That one was quite nice. So let's go back to that. This one is good. But the dex is too low. I'm worried about the dex. But the vit. Yeah, so this is the type of trade-offs you have to be thinking about. Oh, this one has physical resist. This is quite nice. But the dex is too low. It's like 100 dex, 110, 115 actually. But is it worth the physical resist? I think not. I think not. Okay, so I'm browsing through this. This part is kind of boring. I know. I expected this to be boring, but you gotta do what you gotta do. This one is pretty good. It's got good armor, decent dex. It's definitely much better than this guy. 111 dex, 129 dex, 168 vit versus 174. Since there's a lot of listings, I think I could get a cheaper price, but the armor sucks. Okay, I'm willing to pay 50k. Like, what's that? That when we have 5 mil, 50k is like nothing. Okay, so we can pay 50k for this. I mean, no resists. How about this guy? The armor sucks. Okay, so this armor is nice. It's got high dex, high vit. It's a recent posting, which means it's a pretty good deal. You can look at time left as an indicator of how good of a deal you have. And anyways, 40k, good enough. I'm being all like good enough. Hopefully I don't get owned in Act 3 when I'm doing this stuff. But let's update our pants, see our HP, and see where we're sitting at. Because where we're sitting at is also important, right? We want to have enough health for survival, but we also want to have good DPS, right? So let's forget about sharpshooter because it makes our DPS retarded. So we're sitting at 10.7k with 4 pieces of gear. Alright, I think that's pretty good. We gotta get some crit chance going here. Okay. Alright, so as you can see, we're topless, but we got some pretty good gears. So let's see. So what do we need now? We have a belt. Belts are typically expensive, actually. If you want dex vit resist, it's too much to ask for. I think helms are quite nice in getting you HP. If you have a socket, if we're lucky and can find a good helm with dex vit crit socket, oh my god, for 4 mil, that's gonna be hard. So let's look for helm. I think helms are quite important. So we want, let's see. So the goal is, I think bracers and shoulders should be resists, and gloves are obviously gonna be pure DPS, because gloves, you get crit chance, you can get attack speed, you can get crit damage, as well as dex, like insane amounts of dex. So I think gloves should be dedicated to pure DPS, and shoulders and bracers should be dedicated to defensive stats. So we're aiming for 200 resist all, right? Which means that we have 55 already. So somewhere in here we need to make up for. Armor is also a good candidate. So if we could get like 50 resist all on shoulder, bracer, and armor, we're really good. Like defensively, we're really nice. Okay, so let's try to get a helm. Obviously we want crit hit chance, we want dex, and the third stat is either socket, obviously for a gem, percent life gem. We want vit, which could give us pretty good deals, or we want all resist. But we said we want all resist for these 3 guys, the shoulder, bracer, and armor. So forget about all resist. Let's just go for vit. I think vit would be cheapest. So let's look for 100 dex, 3.5 crit, and leave it empty. No way. 50k. Oh crap. Alright. Oh. 100k? Not even 100? 500? Yeah, right. 500 is too much for our budget. But let's see what kind of stuff for 500k. Oh yeah, this stuff's too good. This stuff's too good. Too good. How about instead of it, we have a socket? Will this be more affordable? Oh no, socket's more expensive. Okay, so we're gonna stick with Vit. So obviously you can tell already that I'm doing this on the fly, and I'm just doing this based on what I know about the game. And this seems like pretty reasonable prices. Oh, this one looks good already. So we got our the dex is low. The dex is low. This one is quite nice. It has strength for extra armor. I like that. I like that. This one has much more vit and physical resist. Ah, man. Okay, maybe we can find much better stats for 3% crit. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. So 3% crit is a magic number. Let's look for 100 dex then. Oh man, what? 90 dex? 50k, how much is this guy? 47 vit. No, our previous deal was much better with 3.5. Oh man, 80k. 80k. This seems low for 80k. This one has... This one's 40k, but it doesn't have the physical resist. Physical resist is pretty important. So we're at 4.5, 4.48 mil. Okay, let's do it. Oh, I can't be just that quick. 80 dex, 60 vit. 88 dex, 72 vit. This is much nicer. 80 dex, 44 bit. I think I'm gonna go with this one. It's quite nice. It's got higher armor as well. Something you always want to have. The goal is to hit about 3k armor, 3.2. If we can do that, we're really good. But it's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be easy. But we have 4.4 mil, and we already have quite a bit of our gear. So let's do this. So the way I'm planning to do this is part 1 is going to be just gearing myself, and part 2 is going to be the gameplay. So I didn't send this stash. Oh, I'm an idiot. Sorry. Okay. So we got a pretty good deal here. Got 12.6k DPS. So already it's not looking too good. We only have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of gear left. Okay, maybe we can hit 40k, 50k unbuffed, and then if we're really struggling, we can use the rest of our 4 mil or so. So these are just basic gears that we only spent 600k so far. So let's see what we have. So now we want to look for some resist, and we can go all out on the glove. I think the glove and the rings are quite important. So we're saving up some money here, and we're going to see our DPS skyrocket with the glove and the rings. So we're trying to get affordable armor, shoulder, and bracer, as well as these bottom parts. The quiver we found like 10k, so it's great stats for 10k. Let's look for armor. Just armor. So when we're looking for armor, we look for max discipline. We look typically for 7, 8. That'll give us some pretty affordable gear. So let's look for dex vit. All resist is it's gonna be a luxury, I think. 100, 100. That's probably too much. Oh, maybe not. Oh no. Yeah, this kind of gear is not good enough. We need something better than that. 144 vid is a lot, but we kind of have... oops, sorry. Ignore that. We kind of have pretty decent vid. Yeah, our HP... I didn't see my HP with this helm. I should have checked that. It's okay. Let's move on. So we want to lower our vid. We have quite a bit of it now. We want high dex. Oh, not enough. What if we had 6 discipline? Ah, damn. Alright, so these. How much is this guy? So we got 37 dex. So this is about 140 dex. 6 resist all, which is quite nice. 80 vit and 9 discipline. Ooh, 100k. This looks pretty good for 100k. Let's see what's out there for 200. Oh man, 180. It's got pickup radius. We don't care about that now. It's too much. This is looking like a good deal. Oh, this has a lot of stats. Nah, 9 max discipline is quite nice. So let's do this one for 100k and see how things work out. Obviously, we don't want to upgrade our gems. That's way too expensive for now. So let's put this on and see where we're sitting at. So originally I wanted resist all on armor, but I guess not gonna work out. Let's see where we're at. So 15k DPS, 20k HP. It's not bad considering we want shoulders and bracers defensively. 20k HP is not bad. Hopefully we can reach about 35 or so. That would be quite nice. But we'll see. We'll see. So 782 dex and 575 vit. So we obviously have too much vit at this point. We want to concentrate on dex only. Well, not only, but mostly dex at this point. Percent life shoulders are really cheap, so we're gonna look for those if we can. And let's see what's on the auction house. Oh man, I haven't actually rehearsed this, so there's a chance I might get totally owned in Act 3, so we'll see how things work out. Okay, so what do I need now? Let's look for shoulders and bracers. And then we can go all out on the rings. Actually, no, let's look for belt, because belts have pretty good vit for pretty cheap, I hope. Dex, vit, all resist, 100k. Okay, so this dex is way too low. Even though the stats are kind of nice, nah, it's not worth it. Nah, dex is way too low. See if we can get 100 dex. There we go. No. 13 resist all. What's that gonna do? Nothing. Okay. Bad. Oh, wow. This would have been a nice... Kinda would have been nice, but... Nah, okay, let's see if we can get dex vit only. Okay, so 100 dex and 100 vit works out quite nicely. 85k. I kind of want more armor, so let's see if we can lower the vit, because we said we had too much vit, right? So we want more armor. This is 100k. 135 dex. It's not bad. No resists. It's got lightning. Oh, it's got strength. 157 strength. That's gonna add quite a bit of armor. So I think resource-wise, this one is probably the most efficient, because it's 100k and it gives 370 armor. So remember, our goal is not to just do crazy damage, we also want to survive. So, of course we're going to be kiting, I mean, there's no question about that. But some mobs are just faster than us, and we want to take care of that by getting some defensive stats. So this one looks pretty nice. Let's get this one. So I'm not being too methodical here. I'm doing this on the fly, right? So let's see how this works out. I sent this to stash. Gotta see my updated stats. Okay, 17.2k DPS and 22k HP. And we're sitting at 2k armor. So let's see, 300, 300, 300. So that's 3k. So we can get 3k armor if we get 300 each armor on these guys. So that's our plan. We're gonna try to get 3k armor. Okay. So which gear do we want next? Shoulder. Let's get shoulder. I'm just going in order right now. Shoulder. So we want, of course, dex. Oh, shoulders are also known for high vit. Damn, I might have screwed that up. Shoulders could have had high vit, and I could have had some kind of crazy cloak with like 200 dex or something. That's okay. Let's see how things still work out. I think 160 shoulders are yeah. Damn, I screwed up. Yeah, 100 is obviously cheap, but I mean, 100 dex, that's not enough. Okay, let's just try it. Dex. No, we want resist all on shoulders because we already have too much of it right now. So we're looking for something like this. Wow. This is a. Wow. Okay. So we got 320 armor, 40 resist all. I don't know if we want. We should be a little more picky. Okay, so 60 is not enough. 50. Oh man, that one was quite a good deal, it seems. 50k for just this? Okay, let's see 100k. Okay, so we're getting some pretty good deals here. The other one had physical resist though too. That's quite nice because we're mostly going to be taking physical hits, right? Obviously if you get a mortar thrown in your face, you're going to die, right? Well, you won't die. Maybe two-shotted. So this is about 70, 80 physical resist and 43 all. And 110 dex. I'm worried about the dex being too low. But since it's 50k, later on we can upgrade. So I think that's fine. Oh, whoops, sorry. I keep hesitating. I don't want to show this tab. Sorry. So we got our shoulders. And we're sitting at, we got no vid on this guy. We got, well, the 80 int gives us 8 resist all. So let's see what our resists are at. 200 already physical resist. So this is looking good. Our damage is looking a little bad, but I'm not too concerned because our main DPS equipment is still not here. Like our rings, our gloves, and our amulet, we still don't have, and we still have how much? 4.1 mil, and we only gotta buy 5 more gears. I think that's pretty fine. I think we're good, looking good. We got some decent strength, we got decent int for resist, but these are all things that don't matter too much. I just like it as a bonus, but if you see my main demon hunter, I have like 2.2k dex, 600 strength, and like 1.1k vit. So we're looking towards that kind of balance. Yeah, let's see what we can get for shoulders. So for shoulders, no, not for shoulders, I mean for bracers. For bracers, we typically want crit, of course, because bracers are known for crit, and bracers offer crit. So we want crit hit chance, dex definitely, and resist all. So remember we kind of had pretty good HP. Yeah, we had pretty good HP. I think we'll be fine. Let me just think. Our amulet might be a Dexvit crit, Dexvit crit rings, and I think that'll be fine. Our gloves are going to be a Dex crit damage, crit chance, and that should do it. Hopefully we can get a luxurious vit somewhere here, so we can get some more HP. Because as you'll see, max HP is going to be much more important than all resist. So 300 all resist is more than enough. Even 250 or so is quite nice. So let's look for a bracer. This is going to be our last all resist gear. We want 4% crit. Let's be greedy. So 120 dex and 50 resist all. What can we get for 100k? Nothing. Damn it. It's a good bracer too. 500k? Okay, so this is too much. So we gotta start lowering our stats. Okay, maybe the resist all is too high. I think the crit hit chance is too high. Damn. Damn, why are bracers so expensive? Okay, I've seen a lot of 80 dex brace. Yeah, there you go. So 80 dex bracers is quite nice. Maybe 90. 90s. The armor is a little too low. I don't like the armor. But, wow, this is nice. This is nice. I like this one. Has 98 dex, which is close to 100. I think it's fine. It's got crazy resists again. We need that, especially the physical resists. So this one's already looking good, but I just don't like the armor on that. If we could get a better deal, it would be much nicer. Obviously, if I spent more time on the auction house, I would get much better deals. I'm doing this at peak hours, which means that you get worse deals, obviously, at peak hours. So let's try to lower the dex a little bit and see what we can get. This one's already looking good, but nah, not enough. Not good enough. Not good enough. Let's see here. So this one's already here. Oh man, it's looking like a really good one. This one's got vit, but no physical resist. We want to try to get physical resist. Nah, not good enough. Not good enough. This one, no. The other one's much better. Reduce damage from ranged. Nah, not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough. Ooh, what the? Nah, not good enough. Too bad. Looks like the first one we looked at turns out to be the best one. Hopefully it doesn't get bought out. It's 87 strength, pretty good for armor. 98 dex, close to 100 even. So let's look for 100. Yeah, nothing for 100. So this is already pretty convincing that we should get this one. We should get this one. Put that in our stash. Alright, so our DPS is at 21k without sharpshooter, and with sharpshooter, well, obviously this one barely even counts. It's not even fair to consider your DPS with sharpshooter. That's like cheating, but we're getting a nicer number at least. Okay, forget about this. Okay, so now we're looking kind of better geared. We've got our crazy little shoulders there. Sell. Okay, so now we gotta get our main DPS parts. If you noticed earlier, we were sitting at 21k unbuffed DPS. So we want crazy DPS, so we want gloves first. So gloves, I'm willing to spend about 500k because gloves are really, really good. And that's the reason why most people craft gloves for money, because they're just really, really good. Okay, so we want dex, crit hit chance, and crit hit damage. The max crit hit chance is 10, but we can be a little conservative here. Let's do 8. The max crit hit damage is 50, but if we're a little conservative, let's do 30. And dex, this is gonna be probably too much for us, but let's see if we can get something nice. No, we can't. Let's see what the price range is like. So 1 mil for these guys, way too much for us. We don't want something like this. This is crazy. Alright, so let's look for 500k. Maybe we were a little too optimistic on the crit hit chance. Yes, we were. There we go. So we got some pretty good deals here. For 7 crit hit chance, 7.5 even. Maybe we could even get away with some vit. That would be very nice, but it seems like we cannot. Let's see, 25. Ooh, this is nice. 167 dex. So this is what I mean. For 500k, you can get 170 dex. I mean, and just to show you as an experiment, let's do no gloves and like 250 dex. See that? 270 dex for 15k. No, not for 15. Oh, it's more expensive than I thought. For 65k, you can get a 272 dex. So this is what I'm talking about when I mean natural stat advantages, right? Because you can get crazy decks just for pretty cheap, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for something like this. This is a pretty good deal, but I think we can find better. So we're well over our budget, so I think it's worth being trying to buy some slightly more luxurious items. I think we'll need it. So, because the goal here is to do Act 3, right? It's not just Act 1. Act 1, we should be able to do it quite nicely. Two little decks. We're looking for something like... Well, why don't we just increase the decks? 120, 140... There we go, 140. So, it's the original gloves that we were looking at. So, 280. Someone crafted this. Damn people crafting and making money. Okay. Oh man, it's got quite nice stats too. Physical 50 fire resist. Helps us survive those mortars. 7 resist all, strength for the armor. 170 dex. So it's got some good elements of survivability. I like this one. I think it's a lot for our budget. But it's gonna give us quite a bit of DPS. It's got crazy dex. When you look at the alternatives, they don't even compete. So I think this one's nice. Let's spend 4 in it. That was the bio. Okay. So got... Okay. Let's see what our DPS starts sitting at. So now that's more like it. We're sitting at 28k. That's pretty good. We want to get to like 40 if we can. 40 will be nice. That's like half of... No, not half. A third of my main demon hunter. So if I take 1 shot to kill them, I expect to take like 3. So I think that's a good deal. Fair enough. Okay, let's look for rings or amulet. Amulets are really expensive. So just to recap, we got crit on our helm, crit on our gloves, and crit on our bracer, and crit on our quiver. And the rest are mostly dex fit. We also aim for resist all and physical resist, right? So we were aiming for about 300. I think we actually met that goal. I didn't check. Let me check quickly. We met that goal, but we'll see. Yeah, we're sitting at 280 physical resist. It's too bad these are too low, but I think with 280 physical resist and 3.18k armor, we're more than enough. Like my main demon hunter can take hits from elites, and he only has like 3.4k armor. So I think we should be fine. This is pretty close to my main demon hunter's resist as well. So I think this is nice. We got some good strength. We got good balance between dex vid. 2 to 1 is typically a nice ratio to have. But we still got our crit rings to go. We're sitting at 25 base crit. Oh yeah, we don't want to use that as our main skill. We'll switch that later. Okay, so we're looking at rings now. This is the hardest part, and this is also where shopping at different times of the day can contribute quite a bit to how cheap you can get your items, right? I'm doing this at peak hour. It's actually like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. or something like that right now. So it's not even fair. But if you were to shop at like 3 a.m. Eastern time, 4 a.m. even, that's when the deals really start to come out, because the auction house starts moving slower, so you can grab those deals quickly. So 3.5% crit hit. chance, tongue twister, and 100. That's obviously way too expensive. Yeah, get out of here. 500k. Oh, not 5k, 500k. So yeah, we can't afford that, but we have 3.5 mil. So I think 1 mil on each ring should be quite a bit. So 50-50. Oh, it's got even armor. It's got even armor. I like that. I like that. But not good enough. 4% crit chance is quite nice. The dex vit is quite nice, but we're not looking for vit. Although I put crit hit chance dex vit because it's the most balanced, the most nicely balanced combination on a ring. If you look at my main ring, for example, I have 116 dex, 120 vit, and 7% attack speed, and a 50 dex gem. With my other ring, well, I got crit damage and some dex vit. So we're looking for something similar along those lines, but I don't think we're gonna get it for 1 mil. That's the troubling part. This one's got strength. I think we should go a little bit more dex heavy and less vit heavy. Got one for 1 mil. I don't like this one. Nah, not good enough. Let's lower the dex a little. Oh, it's this one again. Oh no. I guess so, yeah, it's this one again. Gives us armor too. I get really tempted by armor because armor's good. People definitely undervalue armor. Barbs know this. They need the armor. But armor's good. Strength is also really good to look at. Let's try our luck with attack speed instead of crit. I don't like this choice, but yeah, much cheaper stuff for attack speed. This one even has physical resist and life on hit. Let's be a little greedy. Yeah, that won't work. So 110 dex. This one is fairly nice. 111 dex, 62 vit, 6% attack speed. Obviously, we want 7% attack speed, or even 8, but we don't have the budget for that. We're looking for something cheap, and cheaper than this. I think crit hit chance is the better choice. We had one earlier that was really nice. This one is really nice. Let me see what these guys are. So 90 dex, 65 bit, 73, 42, 92, 41. And it armor and cheaper. Let's see what we got for 3. We're looking for more for stats as opposed to just crazy crit hit chance, right? If we wanted to go pure DPS, obviously we wouldn't even be looking at it. But I think 0.5% crit hit chance is quite expensive, so we're gonna try to off trade that with more decks. And we're already finding some pretty good deals, like this one. So what does the more damage? Is it 30 dex or 0.5% crit? I think definitely the 30 dex. So it's much more cost efficient to look at more dex and 3% crit hit chance as opposed to 3.5 and less dex. So this one's already a pretty good deal. The shitty part thing is that we have to find two damn rings, 2 damn expensive rings. That's too bad, but we gotta go with what we have available to us. So 3.5 mil. If we use 670k, obviously I'm saving for the amulet because the amulet's gonna be quite expensive. The accessories are always the most expensive, so you should budget yourself to save as much money as you can for the accessories, but not overdo it, right? Like, I didn't throw away too much stats on my other parts, so we'll see how this goes. Sorry, I opened that forbidden tab. Okay, so 678k. I'm willing to bid on this guy. Let's see what we can get. So it might be possible that we want crit hit damage on our second ring as opposed to... Ah, I didn't send that stash. I hate this. I hate this. It sucks. There we go. Okay, so let's see where our stats are sitting at. Okay, so we got our ring. 31k. So this is not bad. Let's see how much DPS it gave us. 28k to 31.7. So 28.1, 31.7. It's 3.6k. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's say we get 3.6 on this guy and another like 5k on this guy. We're already sitting at like 45k. And not to mention sharpshoot, which will give us quite a bit of damage as well. So I think this is fine. This is fine. We're good. Our HP is kind of low. I would much rather prefer to have higher HP. I don't like this at all. That's okay. We'll make up for it. Okay. Auction house. Let's see what we can get for another ring. So of course, if we end up having like 2 mil extra, not 2 mil, like 1 mil extra, we can upgrade our previous parts because we were really cheap with them. Like we got all of these for pretty much like less than 100k each. So with 1 mil extra, we could upgrade at least like 5 of these parts to be significantly better. So with 5 mil, we're already looking pretty decent. Pretty decent. I think we can easily do Act 2 already, but let's see how things work out. Let's see. So crit hit chance, crit hit damage, because I would like crit hit damage, and vit. Yeah, obviously that's not gonna be. Let's do our 1 mil. Our typical 1 mil. Let's see what we get for the 1 mil. So 3.5. I don't like this. I don't like this. No. 3. Okay, it's looking... It's 475k. No, this sucks. Strength of it. So we're looking for to compensate for our pretty bad HP. We only got 23.5k. We kind of want to have like 20... No, not 20. Like 31 or 2. 31 or 2 would be a pretty good number. But it's looking kind of scary because we might not get it. So maybe instead of crit hit damage, we need dex. Crit hit damage is kind of a luxury. We got pretty good crit hit damage on our... What do you call that? On our glove. We'll get some on our amulet, but we need some vit. We need some vit. So this is the reason why I thought that pants should have really high vit. Because if I had like 200 vit pants right now, I could compensate that with the rings, right? This one has only 36 vit. So if this had like 200 pants, I could get something without vit. Maybe this could have been crit hit damage. That would have been better planning, but I'm not even planning right now. Like, this is unplanned, so let's see how this works out. Okay, so let's get 100 vit and 60 dex. Those should be much cheaper. This one is 66 dex and 100 vit, 69 dex and 122. It's nice, nicer, much better. This one has dex, vit, armor, and crit. So I was a little worried about survivability. This one seems good, but it's 1 mil. Damn, is this worth 1 mil? We could definitely, surely find a better deal. Yeah, I don't like this deal. Maybe we could lower a little bit of dex. What's like 130 vit? It might turn out that we survive well, and we should have bought higher dex, So learn from this experience. I'm actually kind of like starting from scratch now. Let's see. If this was a real auction, I could probably get this for 490k, but that's too bad. That's too bad. This one is looking pretty good. This one is looking pretty good. 55 dex, 130 bit. Oh, this one has strength. Damn. Down. I like strength. So 54 dex. So 130. So this one beats these guys easily. And it's got 3% crit. Oh, it's the 0.5% crit. Damn. Damn. What if we had 120 bit? What can we get here for 120 bit? Oh, this is nice. This is quite nice. I like this one. This is 128 bit, 57 dex. That could easily be 90 dex. It even adds extra damage. Why didn't anyone buy this yet? Could you get better deals? Okay, this is a good deal. This is a good deal. Can't believe this is on the auction house, but okay. 700k, we're sitting at 2.1 mil for our amulet. So we want our amulet to be really good. Let's see what our stats are looking like. Hopefully this doesn't just fail miserably. Okay, so I gotta buy a gem for this. This is like 2k. Just give me the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I have 2k. I'm just gonna put a gem in here. A dex gem. Okay, so our DPS now is pretty solid. Because we still have crit hit chance and crit hit damage coming from our amulet, which we don't have right now. So we're sitting at 35k DPS. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. I think that's pretty good. And our HP is 28k, so this is very good. Okay, so let's get some amulet. Oh, sorry, forbidden tab. Amulet. Okay, so we want crit hit chance, crit hit damage, all of the expensive stuff for the amulet. Let's see what we can get away with. 7, 40, 100. Way too ambitious. Yeah, obviously. What the hell? Holy. Okay. This is obviously way too expensive for us. So we want something under 1.1 mil. Because I want to save 1 mil for contingency, just in case I screw up badly and I get like completely owned in Act 3. So these gears are looking at about 4 mil. So let's see. The crit hit damage is obviously way too high. Oh my god. This is crazy. Wow. I didn't expect this. This is decent, but not good enough for what we need. We need some survivability, at least one thing. Definitely we don't need gold. Strength, physical resist, crit. This one is quite nice. This one is not bad. No, this is bad. Bad. So this one is pretty good. I don't want to buy it too quickly because now we're using 1 mil. And we're getting to some expensive stuff. We need to be careful when we're buying stuff. This is looking like a really good deal. It's got the physical resist, strength, crit chance, and damage. So 5.5% and 31%. Let's see what our gloves are at. Our gloves are 7.5 and 28. And how much DPS did our gloves give us? Let me just check this quickly, because I'm gonna use this as a benchmark for the amulet. So 35.2k 27.5. So our gloves gave us about 7.6k DPS if I'm doing this right. So 7.6k DPS for 160 dex, 7.5 crit hit chance, so, and 28% crit hit damage, and our current crit rate is 31. Okay. So I think that amulet was pretty good. It's fairly reasonable for its price. I mean, I'm not being too picky here. This is pretty quick buys. And it's got some survivability to it as well. Crit chance. So what did I search? 4, 30, 100. No, 50. Oh. So 1.11. So this was the amulet that we were looking at. This looks pretty good for the price. For the price, it looks pretty good. So I think I'm gonna take this one. Okay. So let's see what our final demon hunter is looking at, and hopefully this should be enough for us to be able to do Act 3. Come on, cross your fingers. Alright, yeah, 41.6k unbuffed DPS. So we're sitting at pretty nice strength, 650 strength for armor. We're sitting at almost 3.3k armor, which is very nice. 300 physical resist, very good, very good. Damage reduction, all that. 36.5% crit chance, 200 crit hit damage. Fairly nice. One thing I don't like is the max HP, 28k. We could definitely do that. We could definitely do better, for sure. So we have 1 mil at our disposal right now. Should I use the 1 mil? For upgrades, what could I upgrade best? This is gonna be hard. I'm pretty confident that we should be fine. Okay. I think I'm gonna split up the equipment. So this part will be equipment. The next part should be skills. And after skills is going to be gameplay. So I expect the gameplay to go smoothly. If it doesn't go smoothly, I'm gonna need an upgrade, and I'll also have parts for the upgrade. So for now, this is what we're looking at, and these are the stats that we found. We found it for 3.9 mil. So I think that's a pretty reasonable price considering our stats. Remember, we started off naked, and now we have some decent gears with 36.5% crit. And not too bad HP. I would have liked this to be like 35. I could definitely squeeze in another 200 vit with 1.1 mil for sure. It would be quite easy. There's some quivers out there that have like 150 vit or something retarded, but the reason why they're cheap is because no one wants vit, people want dex. So quiver is a definite upgrade. We only spent like 10k on this quiver. So I see potential upgrades in quiver. I also see an upgrade in belt for some resists. But we're sitting at pretty nice resists. I think belt is fine. I think pants is the biggest thing we can improve. And also cloak. We got a pretty good deal actually. I think this cloak is good. Bracers were really expensive. I think shoulders, yeah. Our shoulders have no vid, so shoulders are a definite possibility for improvement. So we'll see next time. Maybe we need to improve our gears, maybe not. So let's see how this goes. So I'm gonna end this here, and next part I'm going to be going over the skills. These are not the skills that I'm going to be using. I'm going to change all of these. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them. And we'll take him from there. Okay, peace out.